In this video, I'm going to talk through the source, delay and color correction options on inputs for the MLS-X1 and how we can use those to help out with substitutions and working with virtual sets and other more complex productions. So as a quick overview, over here on the menu, in our system input menu, we have our main list of physical inputs. In this case, this is an IP switcher, so we've got IP slot and port numbers here. Otherwise, you would have SDI connector numbers for a baseband system. Now what you can see first of all is we've got 3 versions of our demo camera in today to show you what we can do with them. We've got one with a color corrector applied, one with a delay applied and one that's clean. The first thing to note is all inputs on the system have frame delay. That's up to 11 frames in this case. So you can see straight away if I cut to some boxes with the clean and the delayed camera, we've got a nice 11 frame delay on one of them. Now it's 11 frames because I've set that in the menu over here. Over on the input row, we can see there's a frame delay column. I've turned it on and I can dial in a number straight away. So I can make it 5 frames, and that's going to be much closer together, but still slightly delayed. Or I can go back up to the maximum of 11. And we've got that delay again. So that takes instantly, no restarts, no replugging required. That's going to happen straight away as soon as I turn that on. You'll also see there's a frame synchronizer available on every input as well. So that's really useful if you're working with untimed sources. Having a look at color correction, if we go to the color corrected version of the camera just there, I can jump into the input color corrector menu and start turning on some color correction options. So if I turn on my primary color corrector, I can start messing with, say, the black level, lift that up, and I can even do RGB values as well and bring a bit more blue in and take some green out or add loads of red, anything like that. I can do all sorts of camera matching and color correcting on those inputs as well and run delay simultaneously. So we can look at all 3 of our sources together, and I could even add a different level of delay to the color corrected source at the same time. So let's give that a 5 frame delay and turn that on, and you'll see I've got 3 versions of that source all running at slightly different timings as required by my production. We've also got options to do color correction on outputs via our aux bus color correctors. So on our output 1 here, which is feeding our left hand monitor, I'm going to turn on the color corrector. And I'm going to go up to the aux menu under aux bus CCR. Now you can see aux bus 1's here, ready to go because I've turned it on in the other menu. I can turn on the CCR options and I can start using the video process options. Black level adjustments, for example, RGB changes, whatever I need to do, I can do in this menu. So I can color correct on the way in and on the way out. I'll disable that, and we'll have a look at linking. Now, a use case for something like this might be that I want the delayed version of the camera on my program, and I want the undelayed version going down an ME to a screen or to an AR feed. So I'm going to link the 2 MEs together, and I'll show you how to do that. That's under the link menu. I'm going to create a new link. We've already got one there that links aux1 to program, but in this case, I'm going to create a new link. The controlling bus is going to be PP program, and the linked bus is going to be ME2 program, which is on my top stripe today. So ME2 program. Now to show you how that works, I'm going to put ME2's program on the right hand side monitor just here in our studio. So ME2 program 1 is going to go there. I can take those keys off so we can see the background, and you can see both monitors are following my cuts. Now I'm going to go into my link menu again, and I'm going to edit the link table. I'm going to change it to link table 2 in this case, and I'm going to go to table video key assign. Now under table 2, this is a substitution table setup. So we can see our logical sources on the left, so one with color corrector, one with delay and one clean, and I can see logical sources on the right that will be linked together. Initialize table will reset that back to a 1-to-1 table to start working from. So in this case, when we cut to the delayed version of the camera here, I want to cut to the clean version on my linked system, which is ME2. So I pop 1 clean there, and you'll note that now when I cut to the color corrector, they both get it. When I cut to the clean version, they'll both get it. When I cut to the delayed version on program will get the delayed version, and ME2 will get the clean version. So it's seeing the source slightly faster than my main program cut. That's really useful for syncing an InVision screen up to my pictures on program so I can cleanly mix between the 2 of them. One last thing to note, and it's new in MLS, is the no action substitution. If I go to my color corrected version in this case, and I go into my crosspoint table, I have already assigned an option called no action to source 300, so it's out the way of my other sources. We can assign that in the engineering menu, and NA stands for no action. In that case, when I cut to the source, the linked bus will perform no action at all. So I take the clean, and it's on the clean. I take the delayed, and it's stayed on the clean. I can cut away, and when I go back to the clean, it's going to rejoin that link. However, if I cut away on ME2 in this case, to say a clip player, and then take the color corrected source, because I specified no action, there will be no bus follow on ME2, and it stays with our clip player. So say my video's running in a wall, I can leave that going and I can cut around, that's fine. As soon as I cut back to a source that has a substitution or a link attached, the link will take place and we're back in our table. But that allows me to essentially overpatch a source there and use the no action substitution on my first input to ignore it and continue cutting away here. And that's just a basic look at link tables on the MLS-X1 and how you can use source delays and color correction.